Thank you for joining Foundations of Health number 2, Drinking Water. My grandmother's answer to everything when I was a kid, anything that ailed me, was to drink water, whether I had a headache or I was hungry. So she intuitively knew something that we'll talk about today. So we live in a society that does not drink enough water. And although people tend to always have a drink in their hand, we tend to be chronically dehydrated. And this, coupled with eating foods that are rich, too concentrated, salty, and processed, those are the things that are contributing to this chronic dehydration. What's interesting is that water makes up 70% of the human body's composition, and ironically, so it makes up 70% of the Earth's surface as well. So we are basically microcosms of our Earth in sickness and in health. Some benefits to drinking water is increasing your cellular activity, metabolism, and pH, balancing the pH. Really important is detoxification and elimination, probably the number one most important thing. Regulating body temperature and blood pressure and transporting hormones and chemical messengers, things along those lines. Lifting your energy and your mental state, and a lubricant for your body. So these are some of the things that are really important in the benefits of drinking water. Also, thirst is mistaken for hunger. So I think that's a really good one to point out. So by increasing your water intake, you not only satisfy your body's needs for thirst and control your appetite and balance your food intake as well. So when your body is chronically dehydrated, it must dig really deep into the lower levels of your cells, and it drains it. And therefore, it's setting off some chain events that you really don't want to happen. And it also tells your thirst center to stop letting you know that you're thirsty, which you don't want that to happen either. You want to honor what your body's telling you to do and what it needs. So some of the tips that I can share with you is that one important thing is drink half your weight in ounces of water each day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you want to drink 75 ounces of water per day and work up to that. Maybe you want to set up a timetable to remind you. So from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., that's 12 hours. You weigh 150 pounds, it's 75 ounces of water. Bottom line is that you should be drinking about 6 ounces or so of water per hour. Prepare the amount of water that you want to drink ahead of time. Drink water during a meal is fine, but just keep in mind that when you're eating, you probably want to drink it 30 minutes before or 2 hours after to allow and not to dilute the digestive juices in your stomach. You want those to break down food, and you don't want to dilute that. And drink consistently and moderately. Remembering to drink is the hardest part. And what to drink. So drink pure alkaline water, although if you tend to have an alkaline diet, you want to balance this because you don't want to go too far in either direction. And you want your stomach to stay sort of in the acidic range because you want it to do that so it kills off pathogens in your body. Although we tend to have a very acidic diet as standard Americans, so you want to keep that in mind for balancing as well. To make your water more alkaline, you can add in lemon, and fresh lemon will help with that. Drinking room temperature water is best, and that's according to traditional Chinese medicine. Everybody's unique and different. People really like cold water. Everybody's unique. You have to find your own place. Being careful with bottled water and tap water. Being careful of the brands. Not all water is created equal, so make sure you pay attention to that as well. You don't want it also baking in the sunlight. Keep that in mind. Purchasing a water filtration system, that's going to run you about $200 to $600 also as a standalone system, or there's also whole house systems, and they're of course more money for that. Avoiding fluids with caffeine, sugar, creams, alcohol, and salt. They tend to be very dehydrating in itself. And secondly, when you're drinking those, you're not drinking water, so keep that in mind as well. And you'll be happy to know that drinking herbal teas does count toward your intake, peppermint, lemon, things along those lines, those type of herbal teas. But coffee does not, sorry to say. When you're properly hydrated, a person will be able to eliminate pale, straw-colored urine every few hours. That's what should be happening. And in a few weeks of upping your water intake gradually, you'll have a complete renewal of liquids throughout your whole body, and you'll have better skin and digestion and excretion, and hopefully weight reduction as well. It will at least help to remove anything that's sort of stuck in your body. It will help to flush it out, and that's the important part of water. Water is essential to carrying out all the functions in our body, so you want to remember that. And I want to give you a visual, an unwanted visual, I'm sure, is that when you're not drinking enough liquid, and first of all, you have less vitality, but give you the picture of sludge to keep in mind, to encourage you to drink more water, because you don't want your blood to become thick and heavy. And so I want you to keep that piece in mind. Give your body what it needs to support that 70% water piece of machinery that God gave you. Please like, subscribe, and share. And I look forward to speaking to you next week about the next foundation. Thank you.